Facebook. I'm giving the go-ahead by the computer and Power Thinking, rejuvenating your amazing mind for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Hard to believe it's going to fly by. This is the last quarter, the last 3 months of 2025. I am so grateful that you're investing this 30 minutes. Just because some of you are spending hours on stuff that really doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. But we're here to help you. Christy, good to see you. Christy's joining us on LinkedIn, and she so Christy, and congratulations. She was actually referred by a company that in an event that we sponsor, done by Leslie Flowers on Monday, and she promoted the event, and I actually offered a $10, and Christy and a few others joined us from that program. Annie is we are partnering with and sponsoring media, and he has multiple programs and helping multiple hosts do their thing, and I'm excited that we're partnering at great things over the years. It's at 2:30 in the morning in England. We're in the UK, so we're really happy you joined us, and I really appreciate our partnership. Folks, this edition of Power Thinking, of course, typically we're focused helping you build those resilient skills. These are evidence created by the University of Pennsylvania's Positive Psychology Center, and it is all about helping you. And you never know in what form, when the tough times hit, with those that you can fall back to, that'll be aimed. It's going to keep moving forward and move forward faster. Our job is to help you, but we have challenges when it comes to retraining our. Social media has been tremendous. We are simulcasting across 3 social media, Facebook and YouTube. It's a great thing, and this information then is available for folks from all over the world in that way, well as our trusted platform where folks are calling in the majority of the country, and even Annie's joining us there on the phone platform that he's here with us on LinkedIn. James Kunkel, good to see you on LinkedIn, and Annie will bring your comment up. Words, Sir Stanley Green. Well, thank you very much. So there's some great things that we can do with social media. You have TikTok, where you can, I've done a couple of videos of just the deer that are in the neighborhood where I live in central Pennsylvania, 15 seconds, and with YouTube Short, 1.4 thousand views of just a couple of deer for 15 seconds, and one that did another 50 views. Again, nature. It was just showing the mountain range, and it's just amazing what people respond to. There are things that are my teammate from high school had some heart work, had a stent. He had a picture of himself in the ICU and wanted prayer. So, there are folks that responded, and that's a good thing. Not so great for us and our mental health, and thoughts about the good of social media, to to suck us in into. That's how they make money from advertising revenue. Their advantage to find ways, what is it that we like, and feed it as much of it to us as possible so that we stay on the platform. So I'd love to get you about the video that we shared, the about social media, and about a teenager who had some serious problems, staying or regulating the amount of time she spent. She spent about 9 hours a day on social media. So, love to get your thoughts about that. You have children or grandchildren who are sucked into social media, and what about that? Um, so, yeah, I'd love to get on your phone. How much time are you spending? And we have a poll on LinkedIn. It's only two more on the poll, and the poll question is, how many hours per day? And it's on LinkedIn. You can go to my LinkedIn page, Stanley Green, and you can respond to the poll. How many hours per day are you spending on social media? Is it one over per day? And we had someone this morning talk about they are spending 1 in 5 hours. And is it number 2 to 5 hours per day? Is it less than 3? So hit *6. I'd love to get your thoughts. Also, if you're on LinkedIn, share your thoughts. So I see that we have Jay. Jay from Alabama. Jay is in Alabama, and it's been a while, Jay, since we had a chance to connect. So really, we also have Ilana. She actually, in parentheses, said, "Okay, here is the correct pronunciation," because percent of people get it wrong. So great job. As I was pronouncing, I said, "Oh, it's Liana. Liana." So, Aliana, welcome, and thanks for doing that. Look, I'm going to get ahead of the game. We're not going to just during the name. We'll have them get it right the first time. So really appreciate you. Feel free to invite others. Love to get your thoughts about social. Many of you are leveraging it, and you're helping other people using social media. Are there times when you can get sucked in? It's the United States with this political environment, all kinds of memes and people mocking people and stories about what that person said, and even if they didn't say it, they'll say, "Well, we heard that they said it, or we thought that they said it," and what it worked, because now we go to, like most people, we go to the comments, and we can stay in comments for a long time going through all of that. On LinkedIn says, "I can spend many hours on LinkedIn in my events. However, never scroll posts. Never scroll posts." And how many people, you get that one video when it draws your attention and you're there. And how many of you stay there? They're not waiting for you to it pops up, and they know the types of media keep you there out of curiosity. We're curious, and is it helping us or is it hurting us? I'd love it if people could time on things that can empower us. However, that is not necessarily in by the entertainment, and not even entertainment. I mean, it's really negative stuff. But of course, as humans, our our nature is to check it out into this cycle where our processing 50,000 thoughts a day, right? It's the foundation of what we talk about. And that 70 to 80% of those thoughts are typically negative. It's easy to fall into this cycle of negativity compounded. So I can tell you that I was into media, up, Eastern Pennsylvania and Philadelphia area. That then was purchased by Comcast. It's mentioned in Wikipedia in the Comcast network. Our network was called TSM. And so we're part of the history. And back then we were doing chat where folks can, this is in 1999. We had people send email to ask questions. We had chat rooms going, the neighborhood news corps where people with their camcorders, and at the time we had the big bulky actually capture community events, actions, and send them into us. The technology isn't as fluid as it is today, but we were thinking, so when you're doing these kinds of things, your goal is to try to draw people, and that's what we did. I mean, because we would have stories that were and the phrase that you may have heard it back then was, if it bleeds, it leads. So the lead story was usually the most shocking or the, and that's what you'll see in the news. It disaster like the earthquake, and hearts will go out to the major earthquake there, or something along those lines. And it's only within the last 5 minutes, actually 3 minutes of the 30-minute newscast, something that is positive, right? So most of that 30 minutes is negative. And that's the way news go. And so now we're in a world where I was in school. There was a movie that was shown to us, classic. It was Robert De Niro, one of the world actors, and one of his first and biggest movies. It was called Taxi Driver, and we actually won Mass Media and Society, the Mass Media and Society course. Who was the dean of the school? His name is Dean George Gerbner. If you look that up, Gerbner, George Gerbner, was on the impact of TV violence. And we're just talking TV then, violence and movie violence on young people who are now older people. And when he showed this movie, Taxi Driver, what he said, and Layla, hey, and Layla's on LinkedIn as well. Hello from San Francisco Bay Area in California. What he said was, this movie will usher in a whole new wave in movies, because there was a time when someone was shot, you wouldn't see any blood, and then you start seeing a little in Taxi Driver, towards actually had folks where the person would put their hand and the finger would be off, and you'd just see blood spurting out, and then the shooting and blood is up on 1976, and that actually influenced a person who tried to President Reagan, and he mentioned that this influenced him. But that was back then, and here we are today with not just television. Television is pretty much passe. About these unbelievable platforms that have the ability to draw you. So let's say you post something. And like I'll take my poll for you just on LinkedIn. And some of you like these, you're you're scrolling down, especially at night. So that's look to reduce it. Put up a poll a few days ago, and we've had 60 people. I know that 60 people voted. Well, because I check. So when you post, what are you going to be doing more than not? You're going to check. What are you going to check for? You want to see if there are any reactions. And the social media platforms give you help in that regard, don't they? Let's say if your LinkedIn will tell you, hey, how many people responded to your post, right? So Jay mentioned really helpful when we're hosting events, but outside of that, so it's a great point. When you're hosting an event, you want to see what people are saying on the screen, uh, but outside of that, you can get into a rabbit hole, and it can affect you mentally, especially if it's something political, and where there's these two sides that are battling each other names, and they're doing it in the comments, and it can be overwhelming. So just reading the posts and comments, limited to what he's doing around events, and from Aliana, 1 hour live, 1 hour creating. Okay, so this is what your day looks like, the average day on social media. So 1 hour, you're on live. 1 hour, you're creating content, and this is 1 hour responding, not including me hanging out with in other spaces on a good week. So, what is it? Is it 6 hours? What's your thoughts there? So, thank you for your feedback. Also, we have Building Bridges LL LinkedIn says, I appreciate your teaching and wisdom. Thank you very much. You're correct. They said it would change our lives. Lillian. Well, thank you. And Lillian from Building Bridges LLC. Okay. They did say it will change our lives. And it lives, for those who are doing events and your people, I think that is very healthy. But if you're just spending time, social media platforms dictate how much time you're going to spend it. It can get addicting. It can be addicting. Of psychological studies go into casinos, and they spend their time getting you to get onto those slot machines through all of the noise, and most of the noise that you hear machine is the sound of people winning. And so there's this sense that people are winning all around you, and you better aim to win as well. And most people come away not winning much of anything. In fact, having net losses. Psychologist, I'll never forget, one of my friends who was really happy that his daughter was hired by a social media platform. Her major was psychology. Her major. So why would a social media platform need a psychologist? We hope because they want to dig into what people are thinking, what they're going to respond to, how can we keep them, how That's the goal. So recognize about just giving you content. This is getting you on the platform and keeping you. And how many times on Facebook, for example, do you see you go away and then there is a notification? You know, someone responded to your post, or here's a person that you know that just posted something. Oh, post. Boom, you click it, what they posted. Oh, here's all the reactions. Now you react. Now you make a comment and you go away, you know, after about, and then what happens? You get another notification. This is just from one platform. It says someone responded. They not only reacted to your comment, but then they made a comment about it. Here you're coming back again because now you want to see, you know, what they're saying. And that is so hit that *6 if you're on the phone is coming. If you're on LinkedIn, let's go to Carla instantly. Carla, thank you for joining us. Where you're joining us from, and your thoughts about social media. Is it helping or is it hurting? Welcome. There you go. All right.
Yep. Carla Hill in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I think what you are helping us to discover is that creating that if we don't put guardrails around the use, it's really programmed to become an addiction, just like smoking, right? It's and once we start, we will go down. And the algorithm that social media, because I notice it, anything that I'm looking at, then you start seeing more of it. No, then we will go down the rabbit hole. But does that mean we don't use it at all? Because it, in some ways, it is a great way to connect and build. We need to make sure that we have accountability and check. It could really be bad. I just don't think it's really bad. Just like a gun. Okay, it's for safety, but you wouldn't leave a gun around a 2-year-old either. So we have to make sure that we have those safeguards in place. But I don't think it's that. And some people, you know, 12-step programs. There's Alcoholics Anonymous. There's, you know, Drug Anonymous. Like some people have more of a to go down a certain.
Yes.
Some people, I think we all have something.
Yeah.
Right? So it's figuring out what thing away. And you know, food, like over the years I talk about, you know, just being, I really can't eat flour and sugar. I've chosen not to because I can't control it. Okay, they can just have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and they're good. I can't. Same thing with social media. Just like the video started scrolling, she couldn't stop. Right? It's no judgment because I think we all literally need a 12-step program, or some don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But if we don't know what that is, just like, you know, not to be religious, but they didn't mention what the thorn was. Have a weakness, and the sooner that we realize what it is and put the safeguards around it, the better. But it's definitely that awareness skill of what that is.
Yeah. Thank you, Carla. Really appreciate it. On LinkedIn, let's go back, and we have Timothy Butts, who is one of the thinking members and is joining us on LinkedIn. I build analytics tools for social media at least an hour per day. I indulge in the content for less than 30 minutes a day. Wow. That's discipline. Timothy. He's in Houston tonight, Albuquerque and Vegas next. Traveling all over the Timothy is usually Albuquerque is in Pittsburgh, but always finds a way to plug in. Still, that goes hand in hand with social media and tracking cookies. Let's see if other comments. And we have Greg Jones on the line. We'll go to Greg in just a second. Let's see if we have anyone else on LinkedIn. Another comment from Timothy. Notifications are likely telling a squirrel. Liana, you just manage your time. That's it. It's management, but it's being aware. And what happens is people just kind of react and respond, and before they know it, they are in that rabbit hole. Omar M, thanks for joining us, Omar. One of our newest app users as well. If you use, should be okay. And unfortunately, most people that are using it are not thinking in terms of moderation. Hey, if something else, here's another video. Let's go to Greg Jones. Greg, thanks for joining us. Mention where you're joining us from and you're about social media. Is it helping?
Hi, good evening, everyone, PowerThinking family. Coming in from the Rosedale section of Queens, New York. Like any other media, having a former journalist coming up to broadcast and print media, the person who's overseeing it or who's involved, they're responsible journalists, they're responsible individuals who exercise social media, and there are those who may be abused and misused. It really comes down to the individual. There's pluses, and then there's a lot of information that you can gain. Media, you can tap into resources, markets, visuals, who can on your business. Unfortunately, the individuals out there who utilize it are reckless and irresponsible. So it really boils down to the individual. It's media. So whether it's social media, print media, broadcast media, a number of different medias that we use, as a part of our daily living, acquisition of information and education, it really boils down to the person and how responsible or irresponsible they are in its usage.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So we want to, folks, as we wrap up, because most of what we do with Power Thinking is making you aware of what's going on in our heads and what's rooted in beliefs that we remember. Our brains are processing today. 70 to 80% of those thoughts are negative. To these thinking traps. One of the skills, being aware of thinking traps when we're jumping to conclusions about something. Using the positive and magnifying the negative, thinking traps that we really need to be aware of, because social media can compound the negative, where we're magnifying it, all of these bad things, and especially political, and it's one side against the other. Getting to the point is some people are depressed over all of this, because whatever side you're on, social media is just going to feed you more of it, and they're going to feed you opposite side. So you can tend to minimize all the great stuff that's happening in our life. Get up in the morning and walk out. And remember, the way you counter that, that minimize minimizing and magnifying thinking trap perspective. And if it is too much social media and too much consuming of the bad media, social or television shows where it's FBI and NCIS and most of back to the mid 70s with my professor, Dr. George Gerbner, he came up with something called mean world syndrome. Hours or more a day of television. There's some folks that are doing that today. And because of the dominance of violence way back then, people can begin to believe that the world, you think about these folks that are committing these terrible crimes and mass shootings and so forth, there's usually something mental going on with them, and they have been programmed to think the way they think, types of ideologies and information. So be careful, everyone. And since we're spending all of our time thinking, it's time to utilize power thinking. QR is up on the screen. Click that. Anyone that goes to, click anyone's link, any link in the comments. Anyone that has the Power Thinking mobile app, go to that link, put that link into the comments, and folks can sign up under you and earn 25% revenue. So that the person that you refer would receive. So our job, folks, while the platforms are entertaining you and keeping you power thinking with the Power Thinking mobile app, is to empower you. And anyone this evening that that downloads the app, someone else's link, just go to the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, search for PowerThinking Corp, PowerThinking CORP. You'll see the P, the bold P, and I'll show you what that looks like on the screen for those of you who are. There it is. That's the blue P with the sun rays in it, and the idea is that we're going to make life sunnier with what we push to you, empowering you. So make sure you go in, download the app. I'll check out the admin. If I see your name and email address, just like I did with Christy, she signed up, and we immediately sent her a $10 Amazon e-gift card. That's only within the next hour. We'll get you a $10 Amazon 3-day free trial with this. We want you to be empowered, and we want you to help other people, to continue to help other people, and to take all that to another. With us, folks on the phone lines, appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to go back and see how
Q&A session. All participants are
Coleman, good to see you. We're fellow members of the Black psychologists of the Delaware Valley in southeastern Pennsylvania. Eric Olson, Gloria Hairston, and Calvin Patterson. I saw Dean Cox on as well, and Bill Peterson, you and Eddie, who's still on now. It's 3 o'clock on Thursday in the UK. Appreciate us.
All right.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great one. And folks who are with us on LinkedIn, thank you very much for joining us, and appreciate you. We next Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. or 9:30 p.m.